Hi all! Happy to be with you again, once again with a voice properly working. So I'm happy about that. I will say I don't know, it's like I don't know if this is an illness that just has taking forever for me to get fully over or if it's allergies or what, but I definitely still feel like there's something throat related going on, but on the whole I feel 99% better. But I keep having to clear my throat a lot, so I don't know. Just taking it as it comes, one day at a time. And this has been a much better week than what I have been experiencing teaching wise, because this week I don't have to lecture. So that's helping my voice. Definitely. The students have workshop weeks, and we're just working with them on their main final projects for our library lab. And so it's been a nice light lift. I mean, it's repetitive. I'm kind of bored, if I'm being honest, because again, it has just been such a struggle this semester to do the same thing just again and again and again and again and again. There's just no change because all of us have so many classes that are just exactly the same as each other. So it's not the most challenging and enjoyable thing I've ever done, but it has improved, and we have some plans for improving it going into the spring and especially in the next fall. So just hanging in there. So it's going good, and I've been enjoying the break and working with students one-on-one. It's putting me back into reference librarian mode, so I've been enjoying that. But kind of on that note of work and feeling like things are maybe going a little bit better, I've been praying the 54-day Rosary Novena, and I think I mentioned that my intention for this novena is discernment with regards to my job, because it has been very stressful for the past several months, and it's just gotten me to thinking, is this an indication that maybe at some future point I need to change, whether that be short term or long term, I don't know. And 54-day Rosary Novenas are really good for those types of long range, overarching questions, career questions. In my case, could be vocational questions in other cases. And it's been working out really well. I hadn't been praying my rosary with as much consistency as I used to. And, everything felt drier in my prayer life, and my everyday life at work I was just stressed out and anxious all the time at work. And ever since I started the novena, I have definitely felt better, even during teaching weeks in which I was under more pressure than I am for this particular week. And I really think that it's working, if you will. I feel soothed. I feel like I'm not as anxious. I'm working, if you will, on this problem. I'm praying this novena, and I have confidence that God is going to show me what He wants me to do. That may not happen in any kind of expedient fashion, but that's perfectly okay with me. And I think that that's a good thing. And I've been enjoying praying. And once again, I forgot to bring it in. Sometimes things never change. What can I say? But I've been enjoying using my Dia de los Muertos rosary. That is a beautiful rosary. I put the link last week in the show notes, but I'll put it in again because Allison has it currently listed in her shop for November. It's just a beautiful multicolored rosary, just picking up on the cultural theme tying into Dia de los Muertos. The colors to me just really speak of the culture that tradition comes from. Just bright, beautiful colors, and those are the Aves, and then the Our Father beads are the what we would call the sugar skull. I've heard it referred to, the calavera, the small skull beads, I guess was what we will say that they are. And there's something about, I have a real tactile thing with rosaries and colors, but I like the way that those feel in my fingers when I'm praying. And in November, that is my favorite rosary to use because it just calls to mind our deceased loved ones, just remembering their example in faith, the saints as well, and it just calls them to mind. And we can ask for their intercession to pray for us. And it's just very comforting to me. And so whenever I feel the beads, that's what it reminds me of. And so I've been getting a lot of solace out of praying the novena and using that rosary. So That's a good thing. I'm going to make a note for myself. Because if I don't do it, Tiffany forgets. So, right, I'm going to put, what did I say? Allison's Dia de los Muertos Rosary. All right, so Dia, okay. You'll thank me later. Okay, so that's that. The other thing that I was thinking about today was I referred to this yesterday in my Inspire post. That's another thing I will link to. Inspire post. That creative inspiration has been on my heart a lot lately. And in the midst of something in your day-to-day life that is stressful or monotonous or whatever it is that happens to apply to your situation, I think that it is so wonderful to have a creative outlet. Necessary, I would even say. So for me, I've had two things lately. I have been very much into my crafting. So I've been knitting for Christmas. Still working on that same hat, but I've got plans for lots of other things. And as is usually the case, there's no way I'm going to finish it all by Christmas. So these turn into candle moss and Easter gifts well into the spring. But these things take time. It's handcrafted creations. So I've been working on that and really excited. I've got a shawl coming up for Irina, and oh, I need to start on that. I'm looking forward to making it because it's a great pattern. It's crocheted, but I have the yarn, but I've been working on this hat, and so I haven't started, but I've been enjoying that. The other thing is dancing. So I had said in Inspire I would talk about that today. It's been a long time since I have choreographed anything. I dance solo every time we have a hafla. So that's our, I guess in our Western characterization, we would call that a recital of sorts. So, just a regular performance for family and friends. We have them twice a year. And I always elect to dance a solo because I enjoy it. Well, I say I enjoy it, but I get so nervous about it. But I do think that it's important for my growth as a dancer to do that because it does challenge me. So for a number of years, well, let me start from the beginning. When I first started dancing, I did not dance solos because I just thought that that was way too intimidating. I danced in a group. Now I do both. And it was a long time ago. It was before I was pregnant with Anne that I danced my first solo. And it was a big deal because I was really nervous and I choreographed. Because I couldn't see of any other way to go about such a frightful thing, dancing by yourself in front of other people. And so I choreographed everything, like down to which way I was going to face, when I was going to breathe, everything. And that's the way I did it for almost 2 years. And then I started to realize that if I ever wanted to branch out as a solo dancer, I needed to learn to improvise. And starting to improvise is very intimidating because you don't necessarily have you don't have a plan for what you're going to do. I think that a good improviser will have an outline, and that's what I do. So I will have my music will be something I'm extremely familiar with. I know when the music is going to change to different rhythms. I know where there's accents. And so I'll have in my mind certain things out that to me fit with a certain part of the music. And so I'll have that planned very loosely. But the rest of the time, I'm not wedded to doing any one thing at a given point in the song. You just interpret the music and do whatever comes to mind. And so each performance of the same song by the same dancer will be different for different audiences, which is kind of exciting. And Middle Eastern dance really is intended as an improvisational. I haven't had my coffee yet. An improvisational dance. So I started that, and that was when Anne was a baby. I was really nervous the first time that I did that, and I'm going to be honest. I had a glass of wine, which I never do before dancing. I would never ordinarily do that. That's for after. But I was so nervous that I had a glass of wine before I danced, and it helped me to relax a little bit. So yeah, I was really nervous about that. And then after that, it got a lot easier to improvise, and I've been doing that ever since. That was when Anne was a baby, so it's been 4 or 5 years since I've been doing that, and I've gotten so comfortable with improvising. I don't pick my music until a couple of weeks before I become very familiar with that music. And then that's kind of it. And I like improvising because I don't have to worry about remembering anything. And I think that it takes some of the pressure off. And I'm more relaxed when I dance. And I have come to really love it. After all these years, though, I was talking with my instructor, Claire, about it. And she was saying the same thing that improvising has become something that's almost a crutch for us. We love it, and it's a good thing to be able to do that because you can't be a professional dancer without being able to improvise. I am really what I would call a semi-professional dancer. I have filled in for Claire a couple of times when she has needed for a professional gig, but I don't otherwise dance, aside from with my troupe, I don't otherwise dance solo as a professional. But on those occasions when I have done it's imperative. You cannot rely upon a choreography in a restaurant or at a birthday party when you have no idea how much space you're going to have, where there's going to be obstacles in your path, where there's going to be a cat running around, where there's going to be children running around. And so you can't be like, well, I have to do these movements in this particular spot at this time because you may not be able to. So you need to improvise. And so I've done that, and I thrive in it. I really like it. Well, now we're at this point where we do that so often that it's not as challenging for us anymore. So you pick music and you get to know the music, and then you go and dance, and that's all wonderful, and that's what belly dancing should be. But now it's not as challenging anymore. So she choreographed a solo for this hafla, and I thought maybe I should try again, just as a challenge for myself since it's been so long. And I really love drum solos, and those are pieces of music that are much more amenable to choreography because there's very precise points in the music where it's difficult to improvise because if you miss an accent, it looks really obvious because the music is, just staccato and it doesn't have a continuous beat rhythm the way that a different type of song will. So it lends itself well to choreography because you want to hit the accents, and it looks really nice when a dancer does that. And the best way to do that is through a choreography because then there's no surprises. You're not going to forget and get caught up in the moment like you can when you're improvising and miss important crescendos and such in the music and those are drum beats. So if you miss it, like I said, it just looks obvious. So if you have it choreographed, you're gonna make all those because you have it all planned out. So I found a drum solo that I really love and I'm extremely familiar with. It's 3 minutes long, so it's a good length. It's time consuming to choreograph. So the past couple of weeks, I've been working on this. And I thought, if it doesn't work, I had another song that I had in mind that I can easily improvise to. And so I had a plan B, which was good. It took some of the pressure off. So I started, and I was like, oh, I really like this little beginning. And so then I just kept going. I had a goal of like 20 to 30 seconds every day. And then I had it done in a week. I mean, there was a couple of days where I couldn't. So I just rehearsed what I had already done to try to commit it to memory, and then I would just add on the next day. And it went really well. I really enjoyed it, and it really helped to take my mind off of some of the stuff going on at work. And yeah, it's been wonderful. So I finished it last week, and now I've just been working on memorizing it. And the only problem with that, for me, having a choreography is that I become married to that choreography. I am committed, and so therefore improvising is not in the front of my mind; it's way in the back. And so if I forget something, it becomes obvious because then I can't improvise. Like, wait, what am I supposed to do next? I'm just not in the right mindset to then be able to just make something up. Although you can, because nobody else knows your choreography. That's the beauty of dancing solo. You can just stick something else in there, and as long as your face doesn't show it, the audience doesn't know. Unfortunately, my face shows it when I have a choreography. Got to work on that. But I have it down pretty well, knocking on wood, and I like it. And it's been a really lovely, creative outlet for me during these weeks. So yeah, that has been just a wonderful, wonderful thing. So I've just been kind of enjoying that and rehearsing it now every afternoon. I'll just run through it a few times. One thing with drum solos is that you get marooned in a spot in the room because the music does not lend itself to traveling, if that makes any sense. You just, to me, music tells you certain things, certain types of movements to pair with the type of beat or rhythm. And in a drum, you're stationary for a large portion of the types of beats that you're getting in a drum solo. There's only going to be limited times in which the music says that you can travel. I know that sounds strange, but it's true. You can't just, if there's just all this drumming going on and such, and accents here, it's just that you can't just like travel to another place. It doesn't fit. So I have it planned such that I'll just be, it's in the round, so in the center, and then just changing my orientation so that everybody can see the front of you for a portion of the song. And I'm happy. I'm happy with it. It's been lovely. It's been a good distraction, like I said. I also have coming up on Saturday, the same day as the Hafla, in the afternoon. So the Hafla's in the evening. In the afternoon, I have my grandmother's 90th birthday party, and we've got some family coming in from out of town. I'm excited about that. My sisters are both coming into town. I'm really excited about that. And they are both coming to my Hafla in the evening. So that's kind of a big deal because we all live distant from each other. And it's not often that we're all together in the same place, and they've never both been here at the same time to attend a Hafla. I mean, they obviously are here, both for Christmas and things like that every year, but that's not when we would have Haflas. So this will be the first time that I would have both of them there, and my mom too. And so I'm nervous, but I'm excited. We've got the group sword number in there. It's like, ooh. Everybody likes the sword. I think they like the sword. I hope they like the sword. But everybody is intrigued by the sword at the very least. So we'll have that. We've got a new veil choreography, which is an adventure because it's like there's a lot of us and we take up a lot of space in our studio where we hold the Hafla events. It's not that large. So we'll see how that goes. And we've got a couple others in there that we've done before, but that are fun. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great time. And we have the party in the afternoon. And my grandmother is just so cute. We're looking forward to celebrating her and having a wonderful time with her and nice meal together, seeing a lot of other family. What's the word I'm looking for? Just not immediate family, your extended family that you don't get to see as often, and people coming in from out of town. So it's going to be wonderful. What are you doing this weekend? Love to hear from you. It's going to be busy. I don't always like to be busy, but I will get through. I'd love to know what's going on with you this weekend. Looking at the clock, it's 8:52. I have to go because I have to teach. So it has been lovely talking to you, and I will be seeing you next week. We have one more week before the Thanksgiving. I'm probably going to take a short hiatus over the Thanksgiving break. I am taking vacation from work. I'm going to be home. I'm going to be working on home projects. I think I'm just going to take a recharge session. So I'll keep you all posted on that. It'd be of short duration. Not that anybody cares. I'm sure you guys enjoy following along, but it's not like it's imperative to your life. So I'll just let you know how I'm going to do that. And then Advent's going to start, so we'll plan some things for Advent. Okay, that's what you have to write into me about. Let's have an Advent, because the Autumn Prayer Journal Curators is probably going to be coming to an end, I would say, with Thanksgiving, because it's not going to be autumn anymore. So what are we going to do for Advent? Write in with ideas. Maybe we can have like a little something. I don't know, like a link up, a something where we all talk about Advent. I don't know, but give me your ideas because I have like a dozen Advent devotionals coming. So let's put them to good use. I will talk to you all soon. I look forward to those Advent comments. I'll see you next week. Bye.